blasted by a counter, because one of the things that pros do sometimes like, if you're thinking about playing in mid lane, is things like Smolder, like you actually called back to, is just kind of free stacking off of it. Then, hey, you're going to be able to get this mid lane matchup. Bin, though, of course, does get his choice of the counter. Jax is his iconic pick. It is the matchup that I definitely think can outscale and eventually start to win out against that Mordekaiser. But I also just kind of like the Mordekaiser in isolation when you're thinking about the team fight, because there's a lot of different ways you can actually have success with this. To me, it's like, obviously the 2-2-5 is the goal, but one of the reasons that you get so much faster into these melee matchups is
barrier coming out from JackeyLove. Elk looking for the blade call, doesn't quite land the root onto JackeyLove, but does onto Hung.
But it's just the idea that each breakpoint actually accelerates the next breakpoint so much, right? You know, once you get 25, all of a sudden you're AoE stacking off all their minions, but he can be in trouble.
Taunt onto Cream, has to flash away. BaseOne looking for the chase. Red buff slow, not enough. Flash for flash exchange there between BaseOne and Cream. BaseOne decides that is his first objective. Has push in the bot side, won't be able to get it in mid because there's a Smolder on the other side. On's going to land the knock up here into the blade caller. The damage on JackeyLove is massive. Flash shield of Daybreak from Hong into the Eclipse, just trying to walk his way away. Saves his AD, carries life, but JackeyLove now sitting at 200 HP. Does have Kanavi coming across, and Cream could
He's level 6.
Flap his way in as well. As you say, Elk not yet level 6, doesn't have that Feather Storm. Kanavi's going to cut the wave. Cream wants to call in a bit of assistance, has Mom on the end of a telephone. Meanwhile, Knight moving across with that Hero's Entrance. Drake secure for BaseOne. Now Top Esports know they have a man advantage, a numbers advantage. Here's the Hero's Entrance. Supreme Desires talent flashed away by Elk, and Hung is hung out to dry underneath the tower. Good double taunt as well. They'll look for Kanavi next. He's down. Knight makes them kneel, but the turnaround from Cream is huge. On jumps in the Gleaming Quill. Elk will fall. Cream takes a tower shot. The Winds of War not enough to blow him over. Top Esports initiate the dive, lose a 2-for-1 and lose a Drake.
Even though it didn't look like that bad, it's everything that's happening on the other side of the map that really makes it hurt. And I just kind of am shocked that TES fully committed to it.
Top Esports now with 5 players up towards this Grubs. Top Esports got one. Bin jumps in with the counter-strike, does get the stun onto Hong, on down to half HP, flash away from Bin, death grip onto BaseOne. They're going to be able to get a kill at the feet of Strength Warfare. In fact, goes over to BLG, they look for the Grub as well. In the end, a 2-for-1 exchange in the Grubs. Top Esports have lost a man, and JackeyLove has to Valk across the wall. Will be a 1-for-0 exchange in favor of BLG. Onto Bin, who has no flash, no Grandmaster's Might for him either. The plate's going to go over to 369. Hex flash forward from Hong. Bin needs to find a way to escape. He blocks the shield of Daybreak with the counter-strike. Perfectly played from Bin. Now needs to run away. Zenith Blade tickles his toes, but doesn't quite connect.
I mean, beautifully timed by Bin, but I feel like as TES, you're the team that has time on the dive. You don't need to force. You just need to walk up, stand on his head as Leona, and wait till he presses E. Then once it's down, the dive is free, right? So some games he is BLG.
Yeah, often he is BLG.
You didn't misspeak.
It's true, it's true. That Rocket Belt, a possibility. Kanavi, oh, good route, but BaseOne going in with the Cyclone. There's the Hero's Entrance. Supreme Display of Talent and the flash used by Kanavi to get away, but Cream the next target. Cyclone secondary going to get the knock. Oh. Winds of War not enough again.
And they're going to see if second try works better here against Bin.
Yeah, no teleports to support Bin here. On does have the quickness, and he's on his way across. Kanavi caught out. There's the counter-strike. Solar Flare. On coming in, gets the quickness down, but Bin's already dead. Hung has to flash away. Meanwhile, underneath the tower, 369 is chasing on out. Obliterates him. Jackie with the flash auto's enough. It's 2-for-0 for TS.
So if you're just fishing with that Leona ult, and you can just be able to have Cleanse on your Xayah plus that Gales.
The quickness follow-up. Supreme Display of Talent coming out with the counter-strike from Bin is enough to get one. They'll look for Hung as the second. Knight teleports in. Hung falls. 2 quick kills for BLG. The Rift held there for them. That will be feats.
Bin going to be looking for him, though.
Triforce. Cream does have the flash and has that flap. Counter-strike out. Cream's going to get stunned. Grandmaster's Might coming. Where you going, Cream? Back to your teammate. Mom there for a bit of a heal, but Bin slapping him as he gets the solo kill. 369 here to join Elk, trying to bolster the defenses of Bin as they get another counter-strike down. On dashing around, Bin knows he's going to die. He's in the Death Realm, and 369 will hit him across the face with a mace to even it out 1-for-1.
Feels like they're probably just too late already because BLG members are hovering.
Hong looking for Knight, who has to flash. Respects the fact that 369 was coming across. His jungler and his top laner are all the way on the top side of the map. On here can Grand Entrance and make a quick exit with the battle dance.
I mean, they got all 5 down here, so TES needs to get something because Bin is going to be the inevitable problem. There's no TP, so no one can answer Bin.
Oh, On gets the flank onto Cream here. Elk looking for the damage. Death Grip not going to connect. Solar Flare down, lands the stun onto On, but Rakan not really the target that you want. He still has the quickness. Meanwhile, Top Esports continue to push in for the tier 1 on the bot side. Redemption being used. Supreme Display Talent does catch onto Elk, but he cleanses and Featherstorm's away. The charm from On under the tower means absolute destruction for BLG. They find 2. They land a taunt on 369 as well. The tower still stands, but 369 tanks it up. In the end, a 3-for-2 exchange, but Bin continues to push in a side lane.
You really don't want to give up Soul Point here.
Yeah, you got to try and fight it, but Bin comes in with a counter-strike. Now 369 isolated. Kanavi's going to try and jump across this wall, puts down the control wall for a little bit of vision, but On goes in with the grand entrance, looking for that knock-up, hits the Gleaming Quill. Kanavi jumps in, Kanavi gets it, steals it, pays for it with his life. But he delays the soul, and that is what Top Esports needed from him.
Cream is going to have 225 by the time you fight Dragon next, so maybe you can take a real fight then.
It's hit 224, needs one more. Gets it with 225, now has that burn. The Archon down to 3,000, On looking for the quickness, doesn't land it on anyone. Has to dive onto 369, the Hero's Entrance coming out as Kanavi secures the Archon. 369 standing in the middle of them all. Elk with a Featherstorm, trying to pull back with the Blade Caller. Base 1 almost down, 369 falls first, but Cream is flapping his way onto the backline, has to flash away. Bin dives forward with a flash of his own into the pit, but Top Esports are coming out on top. In the end though, Bin finds Cream, now it's all on Jackie. The bot lane's the only ones alive. Top Esports will claim the fight as they get the Archon, but it was goddamn even through it all.
Yeah, neither team having the confidence just started up. Knight now getting very chunked.
Base 1 just has to flash away. Hung flashes for the Solar Flare. Nimbus strike from Base 1 onto the minion wave, arriving just in time to save his life. On dashes from the Zenith Blade, but you feel it's starting to swing. Top Esports, they're finding that rot damage, that poke damage, and it's BLG who are being pulled.
Real reason to try to contest this, but Bin is still sitting in a dangerous position, and maybe they're going to try to look for something afterwards. Bin positioning to try to maybe catch Cream as he does walk down.
I like it because you also have Base 1 coming in from the
They're
top side here. There's the TP, they go into Cream. Cyclone down, Bin can't get in range for the counter-strike. Cream's going to flap his way across the wall. Supreme Display of Talent doesn't find anyone. Mom's going to heal him up. Now it's outfits as Cream up towards the top side. 369 on Base 1 in the Death Realm. Will get him. Elf's going to get one. 1-for-1 exchange so far as Bin dives onto the backline. Hung trying to retreat from Knight, but 369's there to help him out. Knight's going to flash into the pit. Kanavi caught out by Bin and On. No range for them, but the counter-strike just short. Kanavi, can he escape? Knight has that flank. His team has given up the ghost on him. He tries to dive onto Elk, but for it, he just dies. A 2-for-1 for BLG, but how close are these fights? And you have to give credit for Top Esports for not allowing that.
They're surrounding him.
Looking for it now. On's going to get caught up towards the top side, dashes away, has that Gleaming Quill, TP in, as well as Bin goes in for the counter strike. He lands it onto Kanavi. Supreme Display Talent's going to get him stunned. The Cyclone from Base 1. Jackie Lurt's already killed off On. And Top Esports just immediately turn it around. Base 1 trying to swing around with a Cyclone, but it's a Tempest for BLG. Now 2-for-2. Elk on the back foot. Knight gets caught in the Justice Punch. Elk flashes, finds the root, finds the Featherstorm. Jackie answers. Jackie flashes in. Jackie Love for Top Esports. Pulls it from beyond the grave!
Knocking down multiple members, and then here on the side, goes forward, flashes for the pullback onto Cream, knocks down the Smolder, but Jackie still has resources. Barrier there, flash forward, knocks them both down, earns TES the Baron, and the first significant lead, and look at the heartbreak there.
Take a breath, we'll take a moment. Cloud Drake's up, will only be third for Top Esports. No soul for them yet, but
people would think that is easily 3 wins and you're out.
Base 1 goes in. Hung, the target here, as Entrance coming out. Hung was already going to flash away. Cream trying to put the damage down. On tries to get in with the engage. Solar Flare cleansed away by Elk, but look at how low BLG already are. Elk is going to be able to retreat for now. Top Esports continue to push in. 369 looks for the flash. Death Grip doesn't get it through the decoy. Top Esports on the advance.
Yeah, 369 short change to E there, misposition on his cursor, so it didn't actually fully extend, but it doesn't matter. They take the tier 2. They're going to crack the inhibitor towers here. You can see assist pings are deep. They're going to try to look for a TP play here. Bin's trying to find an angle.
Notice Hung doesn't have the TP, the flash. Counter-Strike out, Bin gets exhausted immediately. Knight looks for that flank. Bin with a stopwatch, ongoing in grand entrance. Meanwhile on the top side, 369 the target for Elk. Hung's already down, Bin looking for a re-engage, dives in onto Jackie Love, that's 2! Bin's doing it, Knight flashes away, but Kanavi dives in. On with a battle dance, the Counter-Strike from Bin will get 1! 369 down, it's a triple for Bin! He's looking for more! Make it 4 for BLG! Somehow they hold on!
And then that feather pull catches the Smolder, knocks him down, and BLG, they're not dead yet. He's going to be instantly dead against a comp with this many threats. But look at BLG threatening a potential flank. If TES move up here, they might just go.
The strike, they dive in immediately. Hero's Engines coming out as well. Kanavi able to flash away with the supreme display of talent. 369 on that front line, catches out Base One. He's putting the Cyclone. Jackie Love trying to Gatling gun through Base One, and he'll find him. Bin jumps back in on there with the quickness. He gets 2 with the grand entrance. Hung trying to escape. The dive in from Bin again as he chases them down. Counter-Strike out, only finds the Leona stunned up, and he's going to dive further forward. McHale's, Sonya's, can Bin jump out? He dives back in somehow. The Counter-Strike enough to keep him alive through the orders, and Gatling gun. Knight's going to retreat. Top Esports now on the front foot, a man down though.
What a close fight there.
Base One is looking for that flank position. The Cloud Drake begun by Top Esports. Beishwan looks for the Cyclone. It's a category 5, but he's knocked into the wall. The Drake secured Soul. But Top Esports, they begin to retreat. Mom comes down. Cream finds 1. Beishwan going out, and Elk has been slain. It's hunting season for Cream. He finds 2. Jackie adds another. Top Esports find the fight, and they'll march down the bot lane.
Beishwan looked for the engage, but Kanavi instantly denies it, stuns him into the wall, and seals their fate. Top have done it.
Top won't go through the bottom lane. They'll go through the LPL champions. They'll go through to the quarterfinals. Top by name, top by nature. In the battle of the LPL, TES rises victorious and makes it to quarters.
What a battle. To me, that's the best game of Worlds thus far.
That was so fun.
Such an incredibly back and forth game between these two teams. TES with a very difficult to execute on composition here, really making it work in the key moments. Lightning fast reactions there from Kanavi to seal the game.
Because that Cyclone, if that's on that your backline for long enough for a Counter-Strike, a quickness to follow up, you are just all done for. Perfection from Kanavi in the end. Top Esports, the ones that will go through to our final 8. For BLG, a disappointing Worlds, you have to say. We're going to hand it over to the analyst desk to break down that series.
Break down what? I freaking love League of Legends, man. That was the most skill we had in a game at Worlds. LPL versus LPL, that is all I expected here from a matchup like this, guys.
Yeah, we got to see BLG solo laners take over game 1. We got to see this series, Top Esports play a lot more controlled. And then we just got to see 2 teams bash each other's heads in.